They snickered at the custodian sweeping their floors, oblivious until she strode into the conference room and ousted the CEO. Ever dismissed someone without a glance? Not malice, just habit. That's how people treated Nia Carter, 32, every evening. She rolled her cleaning cart through the gleaming doors of Pinnacle Tech, a billion-dollar firm in Scottsdale, Arizona. The lobby reeked of polished wood and citrus cleaner, its granite floors spotless by dawn, thanks to her. Nia wore a plain navy uniform, hair in a tight bun, earbuds in but silent. Her uniform screamed custodian, but Nia didn't care for small talk. She wasn't paid to chat or charm, she was paid to scrub. Most ignored her. Some called her honey or miss, despite her name tag. Others bragged about stock deals and yacht purchases while she dusted desks nearby. A few shot her pitying looks, assuming her life had derailed. Nia stayed focused, her routine precise. Sweep first, then bins, then surfaces. When execs lingered late, they joked like she was air, unseen, unheard. One evening, a young exec, Ethan Walsh, 29, spilled his energy drink across the corridor. No sorry, just a smirk and, "Missed a spot, sweetheart." Nia met his gaze, calm, then cleaned it. He chuckled, thinking he'd won. Ethan didn't know she'd been tracking his shady trades for months, or that she knew about his consulting fees funneled through offshore accounts. She said nothing, as always. That week, 2 marketing interns posted a TikTok from the break room, joking about ghost staff when Nia appeared behind them. "Didn't know we had cleaners," one captioned. "She looks intense," another replied. Nia saw it, saved it. What they didn't know, she held an MBA from Arizona State, top 10% of her class at 24. She could have sat in their offices, but she chose this. Nia's mother, Evelyn Brooks, worked 31 years at Pinnacle, never absent. When Evelyn got sick, stage 3 cancer, the company offered no support, just a resignation form. Evelyn died in a Phoenix apartment, no benefits, just a $3,912 check. Nia returned, not for vengeance, but for justice. She applied using her maiden name, listed a P.O. box, hid her degree, and was hired in a 10-minute interview. Some chase power with noise. Nia hunted it quietly. Silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. Her earliest memories weren't of parks or TV, but of Evelyn, hands chapped from bleach, washing uniforms after 12-hour shifts, singing hymns softly. Bills piled up, rent loomed, but Evelyn made it work, teaching Nia dignity through labor. Evelyn caught the 5:30 a.m. bus from Glendale to Scottsdale daily. Lunch packed, shoes shined, hair neat despite the grime she'd wear home. "Clean work is good work," she'd say, "but learn the game, Nia. Know who pulls the strings." Nia listened. By 15, she balanced budgets better than most adults. At 20, she freelanced financial analyses while bartending. She could have gone corporate, but Evelyn's diagnosis, 7 months from first symptoms to her final breath, changed everything. Pinnacle sent a cold email. Status updated. Nia memorized that email, reading it through tears as the hospice nurse packed up. That's when she vowed they'd pay for erasing her mother. No outbursts, no lawsuits, just a plan. She saved every cent, lived frugally, worked multiple gigs. At one point, she juggled 4 jobs while studying market trends on lunch breaks. Every dime went into Pinnacle stock, nickels, then hundreds, then thousands. She learned the board's weaknesses, who was coasting, who skipped votes, who held the real sway. Nia built allies in the shadows, cleaners, kitchen staff, the parking attendant, even a guard named Marcus who loathed the suits. "They don't see us," Marcus said over vending machine coffee at 1 a.m. "We could rob them blind, and they'd still ignore us." Nia grinned, scrolling her phone. Not robbery, she said. Something bigger. But bigger needed patience, no slip-ups. Empty offices at night revealed secrets. The hum of lights, the echo of voices. Stay quiet, and you'd hear everything. Nia lingered, never too obvious, just close enough to catch whispers. She learned Ethan Walsh was pushing to outsource IT to cut costs, boasting about it over espresso. No loyalty here, he told a colleague, just profit. They laughed. Later, Nia found a discarded memo in his trash, flight details for a team retreat in Orlando, billed to a shell company. She didn't take it, just snapped a photo. Every detail was a weapon, stored safely, waiting for the right moment. Then there was Laura Hensley, 45, general counsel, always in designer heels, voice sharp as her manicure. Once she glanced at Nia, frowned, and said, "You remind me of someone." Name? Nia shrugged. "Doesn't matter," Laura said, walking off. Later, Nia overheard her in a meeting. "Trim the low-end staff, start with maintenance, cut 15%. Low-end? That's what they called people like Evelyn, like Nia." She added Laura's name to her encrypted spreadsheet accountability list, backed up on secure drives. The new CEO, Greg Larson, 52, lit the final fuse. Hired from a Boston conglomerate, he oozed charm. Tailored suits, TED Talk vibe. He preached optimization and lean growth, code for layoffs. In his first month, he axed 3 custodians and slashed cafeteria benefits. He cut free coffee for support staff but greenlit a wine bar for executive meetings. Then came the quip. One night, Nia mopped near the boardroom's glass walls. Greg was wrapping up, half drunk, laughing with the team. "You gotta prune the dead wood," Greg said. "Feed the top, starve the bottom." The execs roared. Nia kept mopping, face blank. Her phone buzzed, a text from Carla, a kitchen worker. "Greg's in Vegas next week, emergency board, MTG. You okay?" Nia typed back, "Golden." For months, she'd collected proxy votes, shares ignored by absent investors. She emailed small shareholders, posing as a humble worker. "Just a custodian," she'd write. "No threat." Some dismissed her. Others, burned by Pinnacle, listened. She secured a proxy from Dr. Malcolm Reed, 60, a sidelined engineer forced out early. Another from Tara Klein, 38, whose startup Pinnacle bought and buried. Even a kid, Jamie Torres, 22, who blogged about crypto, gave his tiny share. "You care more than they do," he said. Nia amassed 10.8% of the vote, enough to shift tides. One night, alone in the empty lounge, she drafted a motion. Removal of CEO Greg Larson. It was precise, factual, backed by evidence. She listed Greg's reckless spending, the morale drop, the Orlando trip funneled through a fake vendor. Every claim had proof, emails, receipts, timestamps. She triple-checked it. Marcus passed by, spotting her at the executive table. "You're not supposed to be here," he teased. Nia didn't look up. "Just tidying," she said. He saw the papers, whistled. "You're really doing it, huh?" She leaned back. "No one's giving us a seat," she said. "I'm taking one." Marcus grinned. "Need backup? I'll wear a suit." The next day, Carla texted. "They're cutting more cleaners. Greg's meeting ops Friday. Your name's on the list." Nia's chest tightened. They were erasing her, just like Evelyn. She almost marched in, ready to unload every truth. But she exhaled, remembered her mother's patience. She still had her shares, her motion, her plan. Nia got off the bus nightly, hood up, blending into Phoenix's neon haze, but her mind churned, plotting, always 5 steps ahead of the game. Nia's childhood wasn't bike rides or sleepovers. It was Evelyn scrubbing floors, hands raw, humming spirituals to stay sane. Rent crept up, school supplies drained them, but Evelyn stretched every dollar. She'd board that early bus, lunch in a Tupperware, pride in her pressed uniform. At night, she'd warm leftovers, quiz Nia on math. Work hard, she'd say, but work smart, learn their rules. Nia did. By 18, she was decoding stock charts. At 25, she was freelancing for hedge funds. Evelyn's cancer hit fast. 6 months from cough to coffin. Pinnacle didn't call, didn't care, just a form letter. Nia swore they'd remember her mother's name. She worked relentlessly, saved ruthlessly, bought shares strategically. She befriended the invisible. Marcus, Carla, the mailroom guy. They shared her fire. "They think we're furniture," Carla said once, wiping counters. Nia nodded. "Let them. Makes it easier to move." Her proxies grew, her evidence stacked, her moment neared. She was ready. Nights in Pinnacle's towers taught Nia secrets. Empty halls amplified careless words. She heard Laura plan more cuts, Ethan dodge audits, Greg hide expenses. She photographed every slip, a receipt, a memo, a budget line. Her accountability list swelled, each entry a step toward justice. She didn't gloat or rush. Patience was her power. One Thursday, Greg's voice echoed, "We're leaner now. Bottoms cleared, tops thriving." Nia mopped nearby, silent, knowing his throne was about to crack. Carla's next text hit hard. "Greg's pushing to fire you Friday. Board's meeting same day." Nia stood by the back dumpsters, phone pressed to her ear, hearing HR's robotic voice. "Miss Carter, your role is terminated effective Friday. 1 week's severance." She didn't argue. "I heard you," she said, voice flat. She leaned against the wall, Arizona sun blazing. They'd fired her just like Evelyn. But Nia wasn't done. Her shares, her proxies, her truth, they'd carry her forward. Nia could have stormed the office, spilled every secret. But she remembered Evelyn's words. "Don't fight with anger, fight with proof." She texted Marcus. "Board meeting Friday, 5 p.m., Greg's there. Get me in." He replied, "Done." She emailed her proxy allies, 2 board members she'd swayed, and the council's aide who always answered late. Tuesday through Thursday, she cleaned like nothing changed. Her documents hidden in her locker, tucked under spare gloves. Friday was coming. The boardroom loomed, a glass cage of power. Nia prepped her move, every detail locked. She wasn't just a custodian, she was Evelyn's daughter, carrying 31 years of unseen labor. Her mother's hymns echoed in her head, steadying her. Greg thought he'd won, but Nia had built a trap he couldn't see. She'd walk in, not as a cleaner, but as a shareholder, armed with truth. The clock ticked. Her moment was here, and Pinnacle would never forget it. Friday hit like a storm. Nia stepped off the service elevator at 4:55 p.m., not in her Navy uniform but a crisp gray jacket, slacks, and flats. Her badge still worked, Marcus's doing. She walked the hall, chin up, pulse steady. The boardroom buzzed, Greg mid-anecdote, charming the suits. "Best call I made was slashing overhead," he bragged. "Cut the bottom, lift the top." He didn't see Nia yet, but board member Helen Grant, 62, did, her sharp eyes locking on. Greg spotted Nia, smile fading. "Excuse me, this is private," he snapped. Nia stood firm. "I'm here as a shareholder," she said, sliding a folder onto the table. Motion to remove CEO Greg Larson with proxy support. Silence gripped the room. Greg laughed, forced. "A prank? Who let her in?" Helen cleared her throat. "She's legitimate, Greg. Her documents check out." Another board member, Raj Patel, 48, nodded. I got her email. She has my proxy. The tide was turning. One by one, hands rose. She's got mine. I gave her my vote. Greg's face reddened, voice rising. This is ridiculous. She's a janitor. Nia stepped closer, voice even. I clean messes, Greg, starting with you. This wasn't rage, it was precision, flipping the narrative before those who'd ignored her. Greg stammered, You can't do this. Helen flipped through Nia's file. She holds 10.8% of the vote. Per Article 6, Section C, she can demand a review. Greg grabbed a pen, gripping it like a lifeline. You think you can waltz in here and stage a takeover? Nia didn't flinch. I came to work. You came to dodge accountability. The room stilled. No chuckles, no interruptions. Rage spoke up. Greg, morale's tanked since you started. Layoffs gutted us, and your consulting trips, questionable. Greg sweated, voice cracking. Those were vetted. Nia slid another page forward. Not by the SEC, she said, her evidence airtight, every receipt damning. Helen leaned back, glasses low. You didn't read the bylaws, Greg. Nia did. Greg's eyes darted, desperate. You're trusting her over me? Raj sighed. We trust the numbers. 5 proxies back her, that's a signal. Greg puffed up. I'm not quitting. I saved this company in 23. Helen shook her head. You tanked it, buried the workers, and pocketed bonuses. Nia stood tall, no smirk, just resolve. This isn't your empire, she said. It's people's lives, my mother's life. Greg opened his mouth, but Raj cut in. All in favor of removing Greg Larson as CEO? Hands shot up, voices firm. Aye. Greg froze, face ashen, like his world had collapsed. Nia didn't gloat. She'd come for justice, not a show. The next morning, she walked into Pinnacle, same badge, same uniform. She wasn't here for glory, just to finish what Evelyn started. Carla rushed over in the cafeteria, eyes wide. Nia, you really did it? Nia nodded, sipping coffee. Marcus strolled by, grinning. Boardroom legend, he teased. Nia smirked. Don't hype me. By noon, a company-wide email landed from the board. Change starts with valuing the foundation. It announced an interim council, 2 cleaners, a kitchen lead, a junior coder, not for optics, but because Nia demanded their voices. Layoffs paused, severance improved, exec perks slashed. Funds went to healthcare and training. They launched the Evelyn Initiative, a community program with her mother's name in bold silver. Nia saw the logo in the lobby, Evelyn's name gleaming. She slipped into a restroom, let herself cry for 3 minutes, not from pain, but because it meant something. Her mother's 31 years weren't erased. 2 weeks later, Helen offered Nia a board seat. She declined. Why? Helen asked. I'm good at 8 p.m., Nia said, keeping watch, making sure they remember. Helen frowned. That's a waste of your mind. Nia shrugged. I don't need a title to think. Before leaving, Nia turned. If anyone calls a worker dead wood again, they're out next. She meant it. The overlooked often care the most, fixing what's broken while others pose. Nia didn't want payback. She wanted respect, truth, and her mother's legacy honored. She got it. Power isn't suits or corner offices. It's the guts to act when no one expects you to. If you've been ignored or underestimated, your story's not done. The quiet ones can rewrite everything. Months later, Pinnacle's halls felt different. Less cold, more human. Nia still pushed her cart, but eyes met hers now, some with awe, others with questions. She didn't bask in it, she kept moving. Carla joined the council, advocating for better shifts. Marcus leaked her story to a local blog, calling her Scottsdale Shadow. Nia laughed it off but saved the link. She wasn't done watching. The board knew it, and that kept them honest. Evelyn's name stayed on every outreach flyer. One night, a new hire, 19, asked Nia why she stayed. "You could run this place," he said. She paused, mop in hand. "Running, it's not the point. Holding it accountable is." He nodded, like he got it. Nia didn't need applause or a plaque. She needed Pinnacle to remember. Every worker matters, every life counts. Her mother's hymns still played in her head, grounding her. She'd won, not by shouting, but by building something unshakable, piece by silent piece. The blog post spread and whispers grew. "That's her," people said, passing her in the lobby. Nia ignored it, kept cleaning. But she noticed smaller changes. Free coffee back for staff, a new scholarship fund. The Evelyn Initiative grew, funding local clinics. Nia didn't lead it, she didn't need to. Her fight was for systems, not spotlight. She'd shown what one overlooked woman could do. If you're unseen, don't scream. Plan, act. The world bends to those who don't break. Nia's story wasn't about a crown, it was about a promise kept. Evelyn's work, her sacrifice, lived on. Nia proved real power lies in courage, not titles. If you're dismissed, don't despair. Your moment's coming. Nia didn't roar. She calculated, waited, struck. Now, Pinnacle's foundation stood stronger, built on respect she forced them to see. The quiet ones don't just endure. In the gleaming halls of Pinnacle Tech, Nia Carter, 32, pushed her cleaning cart, unseen by the suits who mocked her. Yet, with her mother Evelyn's hymns in her heart, she toppled a corrupt CEO, proving power lies in resilience and strategy. Her story screams two lessons. First, never underestimate the overlooked. Nia, armed with an MBA and 10.8% of shareholder votes, turned her mop into a gavel, striking down Greg Larson's empire. She heard his careless boasts, Orlando trips billed to shell companies, while they ignored her. Her silence wasn't weakness. It was a weapon, forged in Evelyn's 31 years of toil, erased by a $3,912 check. Nia's proxies, from Dr. Malcolm Reed to Jamie Torres, showed the invisible can-shift tides. Second, truth is stronger than titles. Nia didn't need a corner office to dismantle Greg's lies. Her accountability list, backed by photos of memos and encrypted drives, exposed his scams. In Scottsdale's blistering heat, she stood by dumpsters, fired like Evelyn, but her evidence, receipts, timestamps, ignited the boardroom. Helen Grant and Raj Patel, swayed by her precision, voted Greg out, renaming outreach the Evelyn Initiative. This wasn't revenge, it was respect, carved from a Phoenix apartment's grief. Nia's fight, fueled by Evelyn's lessons, work smart, know their rules, shows power isn't loud. It's the quiet custodian, eyes down, plotting 5 steps ahead. If you're ignored, don't shout. Gather your shares, your proof, your fire. The world bends to those who, like Nia, clean messes while building legacies. Her story, etched in Pinnacle's reformed halls, dares us. Be the shadow that reshapes the game. What's your take on Nia Carter's epic takedown of a corrupt CEO? Could you channel her quiet power to shake things up? Drop a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories of resilience and justice that'll inspire you to rewrite the game. Hit that bell icon to never miss a video packed with lessons from unsung heroes like Nia. Let's spark this conversation.